So, ja. Wir gucken ein paar Clips an, einfach mal an, ein paar VTuber-Clips und wir gehen erstmal in das zweite Part von Mujin rein mit den VTuber-Drama, PR-Drama besser gesagt, mehr und dann gucken wir das an und dann gucken wir noch so ein paar lustige Clips noch an und dann weiß ich nicht, was ich machen soll. Okay, dann rein in das Drama. Es geht wieder um das eine Thema und es wurde schlimm, was letzte Woche so alles abging. Oh, das war so schlimm. Ja, mal gucken. Aber das hatte ich ja schon im letzten Part schon gesagt davon. So, dann mache ich ja aber nicht denselben Fehler nochmal. Aha, ich habe vorbereitet. Ja, dann gucken wir einfach rein, was in Part 2 passiert ist. Und das war wieder eine ganze Katastrophe.
Well, guys, I'll admit it straight up right now. I was a fool.
Wir waren alle ein Fool. Wir dachten, das wird besser und dann wurde es doch nur noch schlimmer. Und dann wurde es nur noch schlimmer und dann noch schlimmer. Oh Gott.
Naively ended my last video thinking, okay, look, they can screw up more, but not to the point where it's worth making another video on. Not to the point where things don't just get 10 times worse, they get 1,000 times worse. No.
1000-mal schlimmer? Oh, ne, das war schon ein bisschen mehr als 1000-mal schlimmer. Alter. Das geht ja noch bis heute noch.
They're not gonna actually do that. Well, they did. Welcome to part 2. Because in just under 12 hours after my first upload.
Ja, dieses 15-Minuten-Statement, oh Gott, das, wie ich schon im letzten Part schon gesagt habe, ist richtig, richtig schlimm. Also, man merkt es halt, dass es von deren Anwälten geprüft worden ist, so zu sagen halt, ne? Aber, boah, nee.
A live stream addressing the situation managed to make some of the biggest VTubers under NijiSanjEN get as much hate as NijiSanjEN in one of the worst PR moves I've ever seen in my life. But don't worry, guys, the CEO.
Oh, diese Entschuldigung von CEO von Annie Collar. Oh Gott. Oh Gott. Oh Mann.
CEO himself has apologized in an apology video that is so bad it can be compared to the ukulele.
Oh. Oh, oh Gott. Die beiden auf demselben Level zu schicken, ist auch anders wild, aber richtig anders wild. Oh Gott.
And believe me, I truly wish that's all that's happened in just like barely the last week since my last upload. But no, it gets way deeper than this, and we're gonna look at it together. But before we do, I recommend you watch part 1 for full context.
Ja, genau. Guckt euch Part 1 an. Das ist ein netter Recap darüber.
And I also wanted to let you know that this video does indeed have a fundraiser for mental health. I thought this would make more sense than a...
Ja, das ist ein gut gemachter Move. Einfach Spenden sammeln für Organisationen.
Sponsors. So if you want to contribute, please feel free. If you can't, that's totally fine. Anyway, back to the video.
Ich würde es machen, aber ich habe keine Kreditkarte. Und kein PayPal. PayPal-Account habe ich, aber ich habe den Code nie bekommen seit über 8 Jahren. 8 Jahren? Vielleicht sogar 10 Jahre. Was ist da los bei PayPal?
So, the continue.
Die melden sich auch bei mir nicht, also von daher. Egal, weiter im Video.
Of this massive circus was on February 13th at 1:34 a.m. Central European Time. Parce que oui, bien sûr, j'habite en France. Alira Pandora, who is one of the first ever English branch NijiSanjEN VTubers, tweets this out. Hi everyone, thank you for your patience during my absence. Myself and some others will be speaking about the recent situation in 30 minutes from now. Recent situation
Oh
being
nein.
the whole Selen NijiSanjEN controversy.
Ja, und genau bei ihrem Neopet-Stream. Genau das. Oh nein.
And of course, in the most robotic and dystopian way possible, most of the English branch VTubers retweeted or quoted this tweet. Hey everybody, we have something really important.
Ja, das ist ja das ist immer so ein Move von der Firma, dass man bitte alle gucken soll. Dann halt, wenn man also alle Leute rüberschicken
To
tut.
talk about, please give us your time if you can. Or while saying things like this, important. It would mean a lot if you could take a listen. Thank you. Now, I'm not sure that every VTuber retweeting this was told what the stream was going to be about. I think they were just told, guys, don't worry. Hey, we're going to solve everything. Just
Probleme lösen. Wir lösen alle Probleme. Nein, das wurde noch schlimmer.
retweet this, trust me. Everything's going to be water under the bridge. So, it was going to be Alira Pandora with two other NijiSanjEN English branch streamers joining her. Vox Akuma saying something robotically similar. Thank you for your patience. This situation has been incredibly hard on all of us. We're going to share as much as we can in the stream. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
we
yeah.
will. So please come and watch
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you can. And of course, Ike Evelyn, EK, I don't know how to spell his name, dude. Just let's just say Ike to piss people off. But why those three in particular? Well, nothing is really random in a Japanese corporation. Everything is painfully calculated. So if you just as much fart, they want to know the exact volume and the smell.
Ja, die wollen alles auf eine sichere Seite sein. Aber das liegt daran, dass Japan eine strengere Copyright-Richtlinie hat als andere Länder. Da darfst du was in Japan nicht einfach so filmen, also du darfst schon filmen, ne? Aber wenn du andere Leute filmst, musst du die entweder blurren oder das Video muss oder das Video muss weg. Eins von beiden, wenn du das auf YouTube machst oder so. Weil, boah, Junge, das willst du nicht sehen. Das willst du nicht haben, dass die sich gleich hinter dir her sind. Geht auch für Streamer, die in Real Life streamen wollen in Japan. Das geht auch für den.
This situation is no different. Ike Evelyn is almost to 1 million subscribers on
Ja. Oh,
YouTube, and he's the 10th most subscribed in all of NijiSanjEN Global. And Vox, who's not only the biggest English branch VTuber, but also beats many of the Japanese VTubers in terms of influence.
Ja, das Problem ist aber, Vox ist ja, weil er halt der größte ist, ne? Also im englischsprachigen Raum der größte ist halt, aber da die Leute dann halt mehr ihnen vertrauen, dann halt durch die Reichweite weiter und so fort, dann ist es ein bisschen. Das ist auch das Problem, was ich auch habe, wenn ich andere größere Streamer oder so gucken werde oder ich sag mal eine Meinung, so, also je nachdem, wie man das auffasst, also ob das schlecht ist oder konstruktiv ist oder so. Aber du wirst jedes Mal sofort gebacklasht, wenn du eine Frage stellst, so, ne? Zum Beispiel hat er gerade verwechselt mit Brutto mit Nettoeinkommen, weil passiert ganz oft halt, ne? Da habe ich mal danach gefragt und du hast keine Ahnung, wie Arbeiten ist, weiter und so fort. Und ich arbeite seit knapp 7 Jahre fast also 2 Jahre so und 5 Jahre bin ich schon fest eingestellt. Ich habe keine Ahnung, wie man von Brutto und Netto abzieht, ne? Was Netto ist und weiter und so fort. Brutto ist das, was du bekommst, aber weil du ein Arbeitgeber bist, dann werden ja sowas wie Arbeitsversicherung, Krankenversicherung, Pflegeversicherung, Sozialversicherung und so weiter abgezogen halt. Und was da alles, was danach abgezogen ist dann Nettogehalt. habe ich das auch zu den Typen da auch, den einen Random User im Internet auch gesagt. Nö, das ist total falsch und weiter so fort. Ich dachte mir, Alter, komm, wenn du keine Ahnung hast von Arbeiten und Gehälter zu bekommen, halt doch einfach den Mund. Halt doch einfach den Mund. So, kurzer Rant von meiner Seite. Aber ich denke mir so, sobald du irgendwas sagst, so von großen Streamer oder so, das ist das was anderes. Okay, es ist jetzt so, jetzt als Beispiel halt, ne? Aber es gibt auch noch 1000 andere Beispiele, aber das war mir gerade irgendwie im Kopf gewesen. Aber durch den, ja, weil Vox ja halt, wie gesagt, jetzt zurück zum Thema, aber weil ja Vox halt die großsprachige englische Streamer ist, NijiSanjiEN, dass die Leute dann mehr auf ihn vertrauen dann halt.
Were chosen not just because they can reach the maximum amount
Genau,
of people,
ja.
but because they can also try to sway them with having their favorite VTubers talk about the issue. But of course, the question you might be asking yourself, why is it being streamed on Alira's channel?
Ja, das verstehe ich auch nicht so ganz. Man hätte einfach Vox machen können oder einfach auf deren Hauptchannel machen können. Da ich denke mir, ich habe mir so auch ein bisschen von Asman gehört. Seine Takes gesehen, aber ich denke mir einfach so, dass die, ja gut, Japaner und Englisch reden ist meistens nicht so gut, aber man merkt das halt, dass im ESL sind, also English Second Language, nicht ESL, Electronic Sport League, wie viel heißt auch ESL, aber dass ihr Englisch als Zweitsprache ist halt, ne? Und weil die ja Lehrer und Fox und Ike halt ganz ziemlich gut in Englisch sind, deswegen sie als hier, ihr macht es so ungefähr.
Out of all of them. Why not stream it on Vox channel that has 1.3 million subscribers? Why stream it on a channel that barely has 500,000? We can look into that later. But what matters is that at this point, people were hoping that this was going to clear things up in a good way and actually.
Ja, dann habe ich auch. Warum ist mein Model so? Hä? Ich verstehe es gerade. Ich verstehe es nicht. Warum funktioniert das Tracking mal wieder nicht? Ach, egal. Ja, ich verstehe es auch nicht. Ich verstehe es auch nicht, was die da gemacht haben. Ich hoffe, dass es wirklich irgendwann wegkommt, ne?
Site change internally. But this ended up doing not only the opposite effect, it ended up making this so much worse, not just for NijiSanjI, but for the livers that appeared on the stream in general.
Weil er hat sofort eine
Alira, since
Community
this
gemacht.
was on her channel. Before we even watch this disastrous message or whatever the hell it's meant to be,
Yeah.
we don't even need to watch a single second for you to understand how much ill intent it harbored towards Dokibird. Remember how I said that this was tweeted at 1:30 a.m. Central European Time? Alira said we're going live in 30 minutes, which means they were going to go live at 2 a.m. Central European Time. Dokibird, on the other end, had a stream she was very excited about that she had planned since the 12th, where she would play Neopets, and she was scheduled to go live at.
Ja, das wollten die halt versuchen, dass sie sofort damit aufhört. Da haben sie auch leider Gottes Erfolg gehabt ein bisschen, aber
2 a.m. Central European Time as well. This means that NijiSanjI took a conscious decision to go live at the same exact time that Dokibird was going live on her channel. If that's not a middle finger, if that's not ill intent, what is? Like, what is?
Yep.
I can already predict what NijiSanjI might say if you raise this issue to them. They might say, oh, you know, this was the only time the VTubers were available. But the thing is, the biggest VTuber involved here is Vox Akuma, and he lives in the UK.
wenn er wirklich im UK wohnt, oh mein Gott, Alter, bitte. Man würde halt eine bessere Zeit finden für ihn. Also ich meine jetzt wirklich eine bessere Zeit.
Hey, and as you can see right here, it would have been 1 a.m. GMT. You're telling me you couldn't have found any better time for him? That already is a massive PR mistake, and we haven't even watched the video yet.
Ja.
So let's do it. This live stream starts off like a funeral. It is a black screen, and people are talking in this very concerned voice, as if they're talking about someone who passed away. And as you can tell from the comments, people were very nervous about this. Someone hold me, I'm scared.
Ja.
This is some type of damage
Ja, das war wirklich nicht gut.
control bullshit that I'm donezo. Please God, be a real message and not PR garbage. Look, at this point, people hated the company, but they still held hope that the livers, that the VTubers themselves were okay. So everything was culminating up until this point, and this live stream had the potential to change everything for better or for worse. Now don't worry, we're not going to watch the whole thing. We're just going to go through some highlights. The whole thing starts off with Alira talking and setting the mood.
The time to listen to us today. Fox and Ike are also present here with me, and we would like to take some time to address the events surrounding Selen contract termination.
Hi, everyone.
To preface, we have discussed with AnyColor staff and our legal team about what we are able to say. However, due to how sensitive the situation is, please do keep in mind that there are limits to what we're able to share. Both we, the livers, and the company have been affected deeply and are taking the situation very seriously. Everything that will be discussed has been approved by our lawyers or is based solely on our personal experiences.
Right, so barely a minute in, and
Ja, oh Gott. Oh nein, oh no. Oh no. Das war so schlimm.
we understand very quickly this has been pre-approved by the
Ja, das war gar nicht live, das war einfach nur als Premiere so festgehalten halt, ne? Man kann ja das auf YouTube so einstellen, dass man welche Videos dann halt an diesem Zeitpunkt dann freischaltet kann. War früher nicht so gewesen, heute kann das jeder machen, glaube ich. Und ja.
staff of NijiSanjEN with their legal team, okay? Again, goes back to my point. Everything here is calculated. And if you don't believe me, look at the live stream length. A painfully...
Dude, man muss es auch genau schaffen für 15 Minuten, ne? Schaffst du deine Streams auch nicht immer auf 0? Ja.
accurate 15 minutes with no extra second added. Hell, I don't even think this was live. I think this was pre-recorded. In fact, it shouldn't have even been a live stream. But again, this was going on as Dokibird was playing Neopets.
I would like to first apologize if my silence on the matter has caused any worry. Over the past month, staff received documents from Selen's lawyer containing examples of her claimed experiences under AnyColor. These documents in question included personal information of some livers, and when it was sent to us, we learned that there was a potential that this information could be made public.
Barely 2 minutes have passed by, and 2 major things have been revealed. She's seen the legal documents that Selen...
Das war nicht gut. Weil die Legal Documents sind einfach nur für den Kläger und also für Selen und deren Anwalt und NijiSanjEN Anwälte einsehbar gewesen. Das hätte niemand anderen sehen dürfen von den Ex-Mitarbeitern dann halt, ne, für die Talenten. Aber ich denke mir einfach mal so, dass die, das ist meine Theorie, aber was Aspen auch schon mal gesagt hat, dass man die, oder was ich vorhin schon gesagt habe, dass man die 3 einfach genommen haben, weil die halt besser mit der englischen Sprache rüberkommen halt, ne?
Selen has sent, and she's pretty much insinuating that she feels threatened by the information contained within, as if saying that Selen was planning to leak them. Yeah, she's right. I totally see that happening. I totally see Dokibird getting on Twitter and saying, hey guys, this is where Alira lives. Go say hi. But in general, the reason why I'm pointing this out is because this is going to be a pattern that will repeat in this 15-minute statement.
Yeah.
Alira stopped talking at around 3:51 and expressed that when they heard of what Dokibird had done to herself and how she almost lost her life, they reached out and were very concerned. Then she stopped talking. Then the biggest male VTuber in NijiSanjEN speaks for almost 2/3 of the video. And this is where the pattern initially presented by Alira makes a comeback. This idea that Selen is mentally unstable, that she's always been off the rails, that she cannot abide by any corporate rules. and who's had many times to repent because Vox and company were trying to comfort her so many times that she ended up using all her chances. In fact, the only thing that was shown in this entire black stream was some
Ja, das hätte man nicht zeigen dürfen. Das hätte man nicht zeigen dürfen.
Conversations regarding Selen and the music video with her manager. Vox said that this is to provide more context on the situation. This is an image that tells a story in 6 parts, with the first part being Selen uploading her music video to be approved by management, and the last part being the tweet of Selen that started it all. In the middle, we see management saying, "Hi Selen, sorry for the late reply. Since this video included X-Livers, it will cost more time for me to get confirmation. The audio is okay for me."
Das habe ich nicht verstanden, aber die haben noch die APIs noch. Das macht doch überhaupt keinen Sinn. Eigentlich müsste es ja noch okay sein. Da verstehe ich gerade wirklich noch nichts davon.
And then asking, "So why this is released before I got confirmation? This video is set to private until I got confirmation. There's also a chance that you might need to readjust it before setting to public again. Also, before you post anything to explain about it, please confirm with me." And she tweeted this tweet. This is definitely a crazy form of damage control, because even
Ja, das war wirklich, dass der Schaden ein bisschen weniger wird dann.
though Vox is saying
Oder so, dass es ein bisschen unterdrückt
this
wird.
is to provide context, we're still missing a lot of it if we're going to delve deep into this. This music video has taken months, almost a year, to be made from start to finish. Not to mention that it was fully funded by Selen, $15,000 out of her own pocket. And she had approval of all parties involved, including anything copyright related.
Ja, das ist, wie gesagt, das verstehe ich bis heute noch nicht darüber.
We don't even know if this was the first draft. And one thing, of course, they so carefully didn't mention in the stream is that this wasn't the first time Selen was shown this kind of behavior from management. At some point, there was this public announcement that, hey, Selen cannot host any live tournaments anymore.
Ja, das war sehr wild. Die hat so gute Ideen. Das wäre besser gewesen, wenn man die auch gesagt hat, hier, mach mal. Wir sponsoren das halt, wir kriegen irgendwelche Sponsoren rein und dann kannst du das abhalten. Aber, naja, wurde nie.
NijiSanjEN, with no explanation. But even though it was tough, in Vox's own words, which became a pretty famous line from this 15-minute live stream,
leaving NijiSanjEN is always an option for livers. If she had wanted to graduate beforehand, she was given very many chances to do so.
Sie hatte das
the
vorgehabt.
scripted live stream, the huge desperation behind this damage control attempt, and him saying graduation is always an option to someone who almost graduated their soul out of their body by, almost dying, is really weird, and it comes off in poor taste. He also mentioned how he felt backstabbed because Selen recorded a part of their conversation at one point, and continues with the narrative that she actually hurt not just the company, but the talent behind the company. He even went as far to say that he was planning to graduate at some point with her in solidarity because he believed everything she said, but it turned out to him, somehow, that everything she was saying was out of context, and he now realizes this. A pretty bold accusation missing proof and context. But I want you to thoroughly focus on what he says here. Watch.
Having thoroughly reviewed the documents sent to NijiSanjEN by her lawyer.
Das hätte er nicht sagen dürfen. Das hätte er einfach nicht sagen dürfen. Weil bei sowas wird er mit reingezogen, aber richtig reingezogen dann.
Guys, we thoroughly dive deep into the documents she sent. Okay, keep this.
Beziehungsweise er durfte auch nicht reingucken. Überhaupt nicht. Also die ganzen Talente durften da nicht reingucken.
This in mind for later. This is going to be very important. After Vox had finished talking, it was Ike's turn. He pretty much rehashed what Illyra said, but what's most notable here is that, again, he admits that he saw what was sent by Selen's lawyer.
We always managed to get on really well. So that's why it was so shocking for me to learn that Any Color had received these documents from Selen's lawyer. Learning about what was contained within these documents was, to me personally, incredibly saddening.
And as a gentle reminder, this was all happening as Dokibird was streaming Neopets. Initially, she tried to ignore.
Ja, sie versuchte schon monatelang das zu streamen und das wird dann, oh Gott. Einfach wegen sowas wieder kaputt gemacht.
It, but the chat kept spamming her about it. She found out what they were saying And she was shocked by the fact that they admitted so openly that they had seen these documents. Because according to her, these were meant to stay private between her legal team and NijiSanji's legal team. This was huge. She called her lawyer and she had to make up some sort of statement. That unfortunately meant that she had to cut short her Neopet stream. And shortly after ending, she went to Twitter to post this insane nuclear warhead.
Nein, die Apokalypse der 4 Reiter mit den Nuclear Warhead zusammen, ja? Wir wollen mal ein bisschen mehr Drama rein. Ein wenig mehr Drama rein.
This is going to be a long one, but it addresses everything that was mentioned about her in the live stream and shuts down any attempt of damage control from NijiSanjEN. In it, she says, I was ready to move on. I had made my last statement and I haven't looked at anything regarding my past for a full week. I didn't look at anything regarding legal documents or anything regarding my situation since I moved back to Doki. I wanted to be hopeful for the future.
Ja, das ist so schade um sie, ey. Das ist wirklich sehr, sehr, sehr schade. Ich muss mal kurz wieder was machen. Ey. Yes. Warum kann das nicht einmal so bleiben, wie ich das ganz gerne haben möchte? Warum? Warum? Immer dieses Assessment.
And never interact with that side again. So to see it all come back and reopen a wound that I was ready to heal from and to have to talk to my lawyer again on how to respond. The document mentioned was at first made to document my thoughts and history with evidence so that my lawyer can see the general picture of what was going on, and if there were issues that should be addressed. It was first made during my darkest time mentally, and I wrote everything on my mind little by little at that time.
Ja, es ist gut, dass sie das alles aufgeschrieben hat.
Never going to be public to anyone but my lawyer. Although it was a document filled with my personal information as well as privacy information that should not be public, there were no other addresses or specific locations mentioned. So pretty much what Alira and Ike were concerned about, them being doxxed, was false according to Dokibird. Regarding a recording, this was not intended to be anything other than a distribution test for planning of a collaborative event between two people, which happened to be left over from one test recording, and I never recorded any other conversations with anyone. The recording was never shown anywhere, even in a legal setting, and there are no other records. However, I regret that it was mentioned, and I'm sorry to all parties affected for the misunderstanding in this. So this is referencing Vox and how he was backstabbed by finding out that there was a recording with him in it. It seemed to have been included by mistake, and even if...
Ja, mein Gott, ey. Wieso kann das nicht einmal richtig sein? Einmal, ich will nur einmal richtig haben. So. Ja, vielleicht gucke ich falsch
wasn't
einfach.
she apologized? Water under the bridge. Turns out she wasn't trying to backstab you. I requested that I just wanted to move on. Sometimes I didn't hear anything for days from the lawyers, the NijiSanjEN lawyers, on the other side, and felt like I'd be alone and isolated for a long time. It made it so hard for me mentally. On February 5th, my lawyer discussed and said it would be best to show the document I wrote to the other lawyers, as we have not heard from them for a week or any negotiation talks or given a meeting to discuss after my request to part. So she wanted to graduate amicably and put everything behind her. But the lawyers were pretty much ghosting her. Is there something more unprofessional than this?
Ja, das weiß ich nicht. Das war ja richtig Ghosting von deren Seiten aus.
She sent the first document she had made to make her lawyer understand her situation, hoping that this would make NijiSanji's lawyers understand it too. Well, it was never intended to be used for anything else. I've asked my lawyer to convey that and have communication that the document as it was written wasn't going to be released anywhere, and my lawyer did so when sending the document. Less than 2 hours after my lawyer sent the document, the termination notice came out. I was very shocked, but thought that was the last time I will hear or think about the document, and that this, personally, in my own opinion, was the end of the lawyers and the legal involvement. All the communication was done between lawyers in Japanese. Things are not black and white, and everything gets more complicated and muddled when lawyers are involved in a different country.
Ja, das ist auch sehr, sehr schwierig, wenn man von einem Land zum anderen Land geht. Und dann haben sie auch noch verschiedene Gesetze.
When things are conveyed to multiple parties through different degrees of communication, everything turns into different narratives and different translations.
Ja.
I thought it was over, and I've accepted what happened and ready to move on. Everything I post to the public about the situation was a response. If it was a month ago, it will have been different, as I was angry, but I was also very alone in my head. But it's not a month ago, and I've accepted it. I wanted it to be neutral and private, but now the whole world is involved, and the public is watching every step that happened.
Ja, das ist halt wirklich das Drama. Ich wollte eigentlich das Thema auch nicht mehr weiter rangehen, aber wie sagte der eine YouTuber mal, die Leute wollen neuerdings nur noch Drama sehen von irgendwelchen anderen Leuten. Und dann, ja, hat leider ziemlich recht gehabt damit. Oh.
This paragraph is not just the worst thing out of the state.
Also ja, falls ihr solche Themen nicht abkannt, ist es jetzt der Zeitpunkt abzuschalten für kurze Zeit oder nicht hinzugucken. Ton aus. Eins von beiden.
This video, or even the last video, this is probably the worst thing to come out from the entire thing. This is something that we didn't know yet, and this is our first time finding out. I'm not perfect and I have faults. I had to watch my dad cry and break down in front of me for the first time in my life last night. Despite everything that has happened, please show kindness to all parties involved. There are real people behind the monitors. One of the reasons why I wanted this to be private is that the internet can be a cruel place, and I knew this would happen the moment this type of notice drops. What I didn't reveal to anyone, and only my parents and therapist knew, was that it was not one attempt, but two, which happened a few weeks after the first.
Also, wie gesagt, Attempts sind immer halt sein eigenes Leben zu beenden immer.
My parents found me in time after searching for me for hours before anything happened. I was in a really dark place, and I do not wish this to anyone. No one should go through what I went through. I reveal this now not
Ich bin doch heilfroh, dass ihre Eltern sie gefunden haben.
for pity, but to state that no life, no matter what, should be risked for ego or winning anything. There are no winners in this. Please don't make it like high school. Treat everyone like adults and with some empathy and kindness.
Ja, solche Leute willst du nicht mal ändern können.
For those who wish to see receipts or documents or anything else hoping I will reveal them, I'm sorry, but these are the things that should be private and if needed,
Nee, das muss alles privat sein.
between lawyers. Revealing private documents and talking about the details within will only just make things worse and more complicated as outside parties get involved and will just hurt everyone. No one deserves to be pushed over the edge. So many people have got hurt and involved even if they were innocent bystanders.
Yeah.
In the end,
Ja, es ist halt, ich denke mir, dass, wie gesagt, dass Elira, Vox und Eike halt mit eingezogen worden sind jetzt. Aber jetzt durch die Aussagen von Fox vorhin, ob da noch was kommt gegen ihn.
I will always be here to respond, and that is the only thing I will do in public. I hope this will be the last statement I have to make. Yeah, when I said it was a nuclear warhead, I meant it. This is quite literally the definition.
Ja, und wie gesagt, das ist schon jetzt wieder auch knapp 2 Wochen her, ne? Oder besser gesagt 1 Woche.
Of a bomb.
1,5 Wochen, besser.
NijiSanjEN dehumanized Selen and treated her like a number until the very
Ja, bei der Agentur bist du immer halt eine Nummer, egal was du machst.
end, with their lawyers ghosting her. I mean, just imagine you sent something that you wrote when you were in your most vulnerable state just to try to make them understand the situation a bit better. 2 hours later, you get terminated and you're not even notified about it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Ja, das ist wirklich, crazy.
And we also found out that unfortunately it wasn't one attempt, but 2, with the first one being done weeks before the music video fiasco even happened. Initially, we thought that the music video was the final straw that broke the camel's back, but no, this, if anything, shows me that Selen had been under a toxic environment for longer than we could have thought. Because to attempt it once is one thing, but to attempt it twice in
Ja, 2 Attempts in einem Monat oder unter einem Monat, das ist wirklich nicht gut. Da war sie wirklich gebrochen.
under a month, I can't even imagine. But right now, in this very moment, what people really wanted to know was, How the hell did NijiSanjEN manage to self-report again? This time, instead of the company, it was the VTubers saying, yo man, when we got these documents, when NijiSanjEN showed us these lawyer documents, man, the things we found in there were crazy. It's like, wait, wait a second. What? You weren't even meant to look at them. And so there you have it, folks. Another attempt at damage control gone extremely.
Oh, 140.000 Dislikes. Oh. Ja, und dann gab's das weitere PR Disaster.
Wrong. I think this might be the most disliked video in not just NijiSanjEN history, but VTuber history.
Yeah.
But it's okay, guys, because as Alira said, she volunteered to use her channel as a platform.
After discussion with the members of NijiSanjEN as a collective, I volunteered for my channel to be used for this stream.
But little did she know.
Ja, ich denke mir einfach mal, dass sie, wie gesagt, weil sie gut Englisch sprechen halt, ne, die 3 genommen haben einfach, aber dann so, ja, so als Meat Shield dann halt so und mit der, ja, ich will nicht so, ich will nicht das auch nicht so sagen, aber irgendwie so als Geisel genommen haben und da hinten so standen so 3 Leute so ungefähr. Wenn ihr das nicht so sagt, so, ne, dann passiert irgendwas so ungefähr. Sinngemäß halt, ne, dass die auch dann selber dann eine Termination bekommen haben, Vertrag, Auflösung halt.
She was being used as a human meat shield for her corporation. She was going to dox us. Doki. It was only meant for lawyers to see, no one else. Shaking my head. They tried though. Immediately after this, NijiSanjEN had to deploy damage control for their failed damage control. And yeah, before you say anything, it did get community noted, as all their posts are these days. Regarding concerns that I've...
Ja, das war auch ziemlich lustig. Ja, ist nicht lustig, aber gut anzusehen, dass die Leute wirklich eher hinter ihr stehen.
Arisen in relation to the current situation. Who's running this? Who? Because I bet you an intern would do a better job at this point.
Ach ja, und Job, die machen jetzt, haben jetzt Jobs offen, ne, dass sie halt dann besser machen können halt alles, ne, aber boah, no. Du hast irgendwie 3, 4 Stellen, aber kriegst nur das Minimum an Gehalt dann.
So they pretty much say, in order to check the validity of Selen and her lawyer's claim, AnyColor Inc. shared only necessary parts of the information sent by her lawyer with our livers and led to an internal investigation. They double down and say that they have not made any confidentiality violations regarding submitted documents for legal claims such as these. However, regarding the specific information and documents which Selen's lawyer requested that we do not share with our livers, with utmost consideration of this request, AnyColor has not shared any such information. That's weird, because according to Vox, he thoroughly checked the documents sent by Selen's lawyer.
Having thoroughly reviewed the documents
das ist
sent
so
to
schlecht
NijiSanjEN by
gealtert.
her lawyer.
In addition, our livers are not held
Das ist so schlecht gealtert.
to any confidentiality obligation regarding the information shared to them from AnyColor. Thus, there are no legal issues regarding the information shared to the public in the stream made by our livers. This doesn't make any sense. What do you mean? The confidentiality obligation wasn't made towards them anyway. They weren't meant to see it. After a rigorous legal check, AnyColor hereby declares that it has not made any confidentiality violations while checking the validity of claims made by Selen and her lawyer with its affiliated livers. Community note: the liver in question, Selen, on her new account as DokiBird, has confirmed that she was promised the information would only be shown to lawyers as it was an HR complaint. Sharing this information without consent may be a violation of Pepita as
Genau, und geschäftlich würde, glaube ich, sie gegen NijiSanjEN verlieren, aber menschenrechtlich würde sie, wenn das der Fall jetzt in Kanada landen sollte, oder müsste sogar in Kanada landen, würde sie haushoch gewinnen. Aber das andere, was mit Firmen angeht, wenn das in Japan stattfindet, den Gerichtsprozess, glaube ich nicht, dass sie das gewinnen wird. Aber ich hoffe das Beste daran, dass sie halt mit gutem Gefühl wieder rausgehen kann und wieder Freude am Leben hat. Ich meine, ihre Livestreams jetzt, auch hier das Palworld Twitch-Rival war ziemlich gut gewesen. Alter, wie sie Charlie geroastet hat. Am Tag 1. Charlie, ich mag dich. Hi.
Bird is Canadian. This notice did anything
Und beziehungsweise ich gucke ja ein bisschen dazu. Ich schreibe ja nicht viel einfach.
but clear things up. Again, they made it worse. They made it way
Nicht nur das F-Wayverse. Es war schon... war wirklich nicht gut.
worse. Now, this post was made at 5:16 Central European Time, February 13th, right? Not even 19 minutes afterwards, they posted the CEO of AnyColor addressing the concerns personally. And you'd think, oh man, the CEO stepping up. Damn, okay, maybe this will actually improve things. No, you're not thinking that, right? At this point, you can't be. This long bow was used for memes. I'll show you later. I died laughing.
In the notice, we unfortunately used the expression negligible to describe performance impact. I deeply regret this outcome and will be rethinking how our communication in English is done. Without a doubt, Selen was integral to the growth of NijiSanjiEN.
Yeah, that much is clear, especially with how you terminated her without her even knowing. Yeah, definitely. Actions speak louder than words. That's why this entire video kind of means nothing, especially since around 3 or 4 hours ago, before this was even published, the live stream of Vox, Alira, and Ike took place, which invalidates everything he's apologizing for, by the way. The effect of this video on your reputation will be negligible. This is the meme I was talking about. Riku giving the investors the sloppiest toppy of their lives.
Aber die Memes dazu war richtig gut. Die Memes war wirklich gut gewesen.
Nah, I can't. Good night. Addressing your concerns. Can someone explain this video in League of Legends?
Ja, League of Legends Terms. Das ist auch sehr gut.
Terms. I'm too lazy to watch. Team Gold Advantage.
Ja, das war gut. Das war wirklich gut.
Now, yes, the memes are hilarious, and they're even being used to troll a dumbass hashtag called positive spam for NijiSanjEN.
Ja, der Hashtag war wirklich dumm gewesen von den Leuten, die Niji noch verteidigen wollten.
And created by Niji fanatics trying to flood NijiSanjI with positive comments. Now the whole hashtag is just trolls, which is great.
Yeah.
But you see, the main reason why the apology of the CEO means nothing is because this is a classic case of apologize only when you get caught. The stream with Alira, Vox, and Ike was just a beefed up version of a classic thing that NijiSanjI always do when they want to get rid of a VTuber they deem problematic.
Yeah.
Except this was the first
Ja, man sieht im Pattern einfach halt.
time where they got caught. Just last year, they had done this.
Oh, Zion hat nichts Falsches gemacht. Sie hat nichts Falsches gemacht. Oh. Oh, ich fühle mich so schlecht für sie, ey. Sie hat nichts Falsches gemacht.
Same exact thing to a VTuber under NijiSanjiEN called Zion. Zion was going through something terrible, which is a stealth suspension, where she has to tell the public that she's quote-unquote taking a break, when in reality NijiSanjI wanted to suspend her just under the radar.
Ja,
During that
ja.
time,
Ja, ich dachte auch, dass das bei Selen das auch so passieren würde, dann dass sie einfach unter Radar nicht mehr erscheint, dann halt, ne? Ach, die Arme, die tut mir wirklich sehr leid.
she was also being doxxed. NijiSanjI
Ja, Doxen ist auch nicht gut, wirklich nicht gut.
did nothing about it, and the fans had no idea she was being threatened constantly. She had spoken up about how much of a dark company this is, about how terrible the working conditions are, and NijiSanjI
Nur weil sie darauf die Wahrheit gesagt hat.
successfully turned and swayed public opinion on her. She got so much hate over this.
Ja, der Hate war nicht. Der war wirklich übertrieben. Also man kann ja immer sagen, man kriegt immer, wenn so jetzt Content Creator bist, kriegst du immer Hate ab, ne? Egal, ob das jetzt sehr schlimm ist, aber sie hat richtig schlimm Hates abbekommen, aber richtig schlimm. Und sie hatte keine Hilfe dazu gehabt.
And the termination made her look like a bad person.
Ja, und sie hat nichts Falsches gemacht. Also ich könnte mir sagen, sie hat wirklich nichts Falsches gemacht. Sie ist vielleicht ein bisschen von den Witzen her ein bisschen problematisch. Ja, kann sein. Aber
This is exactly what they were trying to do with that stream on Selen, except
Ja.
thankfully this time the public knew better. But now people are waking up upon
genau. Und eigentlich haben ein paar Leute das eingesehen, dass sie wirklich die Wahrheit ausgesprochen hat.
apologize to her. Now, Zion did nothing wrong. She was the
Sie hat wirklich nichts Falsches gemacht. Sie hat wirklich nichts Falsches gemacht.
first martyr, and you all hated her because she spoke the truth. She told you NijiSanjEN was evil. She told you any color was black, and you didn't believe her because you ate Tazumi's shit right up. Tazumi
Genau.
being Riku Tazumi, the sloppy toppy CEO of NijiSanjEN. She had written a huge
Wow. Ich habe mir auch durchgelesen. Wow.
document after her termination that I recommend you read that really goes in detail about how crazy working under NijiSanjEN is. I mean, look at this. She had to take down a stream because she had made a joke, these nuts.
Und die Stats ist ja sogar falsch geschrieben, aber ja. Oh Mann.
Because NijiSanjEN, in their eyes, this meant that she was almost insinuating that she was sponsored by a company called These Nuts. Can you
Das war ein Spaß gewesen damit. Ja, aber wie gesagt, das ist halt dieses Agentur dann halt, ne?
believe this? Like, can you believe how crazy this is? She had to private the stream because of a dumb joke. So I'm going to take it a step further. This
Ja. Der Witz war eigentlich ganz gut gewesen, aber der war. Ja, das ist halt dieses Absicherung-Ding von Niji.
is Zion's alt account. This is her new persona. Go support her definitely if you're
Ja, Support ja wirklich. Also, ich mache ja wirklich, ich hasse Werbung zu machen für die anderen Kanälen, aber supportet ihr, supportet Bird, sie braucht das bisschen, die beiden brauchen das ziemlich dringend und Bird braucht, glaube ich, sie hat jetzt hoffentlich genug Kohle wegen den ganzen Arbeitskosten, das kann noch bis zu 500.000 hochgehen, aber
supporting Doki because she went through what Doki went through,
500.000 Dollar, kanadischen Dollar.
except she had to go through it all alone.
Yeah.
So with all of that being said, what are the main consequences for NijiSanjEN right now? Well, other than them successfully running down the reputation to the point where it went underground and is racing to the Earth's core, their main competitor, Cover, who runs Hololive by comparison, is being praised by people for
Ja, aber Cover ist auch nicht so gut, ne, wenn man ein bisschen ehrlich ist halt, aber die haben ja Elise wenigstens Drama halt. Ja gut, jetzt das Drama mit Mel, aber das ist auch ein bisschen
actually treating their talent like human beings. And while yes, there's a lot of criticism and memes to be found about NijiSanjEN and how bad of a company they are, they also, as I mentioned in my last video,
ja, die waren 20% von Marktanteil, ne, also von ihren Firmen halt, ne, haben sie 20% verloren. Jetzt erholen sich wieder, aber es ist ja Börsengänge, das ist immer ganz normal. Das ist genauso wie mit Cover. Die haben auch ein bisschen was verloren, aber jetzt erholen sich jetzt gerade wieder, weil neue Merch draußen sind, weiter und so fort, ne?
lost some stock price. But it's nothing really enough to bring down the whole company
Ja.
and make them
Ja, das ist wirklich leider nicht. Man müsste wirklich noch mehr wirklich reingehen
go
halt.
bankrupt or anything. They're probably going to recover in the next few weeks. The 3 VTubers who tried to run a smear campaign on Selen are going to be just fine within the next few weeks because their fan bases are huge.
Ja, das ist halt das bisschen das Problem, was ich auch habe, wenn ich bei anderen großen Streamer bin und was ich vorhin schon gesagt habe, da wenn ich schon ein bisschen was frage oder nachhaken, wird man auch gleich sofort down geredet, wie sonst was. So, was fällt dir ein, da so mit so einer Frage anzukommen? Weißt du nicht, ich bin der Erste seit 5 Minuten drin oder 10 Minuten oder eine Stunde, je nachdem. Ich weiß ja auch nicht, was mit Twitch vorschlägt dann halt. Und gucke ich rein und dann gut ist. Und wenn das nicht voller Modus ist, dann frage ich auch mal was danach. Aber ansonsten bin ich hinten, gucke ich nur das Streaming im Hintergrund und das war's dann.
And things will die down as they always do. So is NijiSanjEN gonna walk away scot-free from this without any real consequence?
Nein, auf jeden Fall nicht. Also der Schaden ist auf jeden Fall da.
No, because here's the thing. They lost way more than $152 million in terms of public image.
Genau.
VTubing, as big as it is right now, is still considered quite niche.
Ja. Ja, aber es wird größer. Es wird jedes Mal größer.
The mainstream still doesn't participate in it, much less knows about it. As a VTuber corporation, one of your biggest interests is to reach these mainstream people because that's how you'll ultimately really grow as a company. Now, what's really interesting about this whole controversy is
Erstmal hat ja 3-mal geguckt. Ich habe jetzt auf sehr viel geguckt.
that unlike others, this was picked up by some very mainstream personalities. Anyone from Moist Critical
Ja, dass Moist Critical darauf gegangen ist, oi, der hat die Firma richtig
to ordinary gamers, to people who don't even have anything to do with VTubing reacting to it. Like, for example, Patters, who's literally a Pokemon YouTuber. I can't tell you the amount of people I saw in my first videos.
Ja, deswegen, dieses Drama geht wirklich sehr viral rum, ne? Also in den letzten 20 Tagen oder ein bisschen mehr als 20 Tagen.
Saying, I know nothing about VTubers. I clicked on this video anyway. I'm gonna support Doki, NijiSanjEN. So the real consequence here is that
Ja. Most popular VTuber, ja, Picora, Susei, dann Hololive, das Branch. Ja.
the fact that so many people are finding out about VTubing with the idea of, oh, NijiSanjEN's bad, avoid them, watch anyone else.
Yeah.
But this doesn't mean that NijiSanjEN doesn't have its defenders, sometimes even
Yeah.
reaching the mainstream. There was this huge thread
Oh, nein. Das ist wirklich sehr schlecht gealtert. Oh Mann. Die hat
posted on Twitter of why Selen is actually the enemy here. And not only did it get community noted, after getting community noted, it got deleted. So great look. You definitely made your point there.
Yeah.
But what's crazy here is that we
genau. Sie hat 1,2 Millionen Follower auf Twitch. Alter.
saw our first mainstream NijiSanjEN defender, the streamer 39Daf. In her offline chat, she went on this tirade saying that people were stupid for supporting Selen and that things weren't as simple as they seem. Now, she has participated in streams with NijiSanjEN talent before,
Yeah.
so maybe
Ja, natürlich ist sie auch war sie auch ein bisschen sehr eingenommen, ne? Wenn sie Kollaboration mit einem anderen Streamer hatten, in deren Branch.
she might be a bit biased, who knows? Regardless, when people found out about her statements, they made sure to call her out on Twitter, repeatedly, more than once, quite a bit of times actually. I'm not gonna go over every single message she typed, but Fallside made a video where he pretty much went through
Er ist alles reingegangen. Hast du gut gemacht.
everything she said and countered her arguments pretty well. So if you want to check that out, I recommend his video. There's also a lawyer that goes
Ja, ich habe das letzte Woche gesehen von Legal Mindset, also der amerikanische Christian Solmecke hier in Deutschland.
by the name of Legal Mindset that went through the entire case himself, watched the video of the 3 VTubers, and pretty much gave his opinion. It was pretty entertaining, and he made some really good points. I recommend checking that out too if you want to know more about the legal point of view for this controversy.
In my opinion, I do not think that it was a form of harassment.
Harassment is not an opinion.
Ja, das meinte ich ja. Harassment is not an opinion. Das meinte ich in dem letzten Video auch.
It's a legal analysis.
Ja.
There are things that legally constitute harassment. Like you're, as a friend, I don't feel this is harassment. Go fuck yourself. It's a legal analysis.
To conclude this two-part series, NijiSanjI has screwed up big time because this time they got caught. This isn't the first time they pull something like this. This is the only time that people actually saw what they were doing. It was so bad that it reached the mainstream, and that's their biggest problem right now. Of course, this all plays into a bigger problem, which is Japanese work culture and how dystopian it is. But the fact that it's reaching the West too, this is concerning. Dokibird has expressed the fact that she wants to move on, so I'm going to respect that, and this will be the last video on this topic that I'm going to make. Look, she seems to be doing well. She just did a fundraiser for mental health, and man, she raised so much money. She inspired the hell out of me to do the same thing on this video with a bit more of a conservative amount to help people out as much as we can. But honestly, as long as you treat people with respect and know that you are worth so much no matter what, that is what I want you to get from this video and this entire situation. I always talk about crazy situations. This topic was a bit more serious, but I'm glad to have been able to spread awareness about it anyway. I'll see you in the next video. I love you. Mwah.
Ja. Oh Gott. Oh, das Thema. Ich hoffe, es kommt nichts. Ich hoffe wirklich, dass es nichts mehr kommt dazu. Dass es jetzt erstmal zwei gemacht wird, ne? Also dass es nicht public wird und dass man das jetzt im Hintergrund das alles klären kann. Ich hoffe es sehr. Ich hoffe es wirklich sehr. Ach ja, und SINKTHEYACHT, bitte. Eigentlich müssen die Leute schon neuerdings schon, wie sagt man so schön, einfach rausgehen. Einfach mal rausgehen. Also entlasten werden einfach. Einfach entlasten. Gut, dann machen wir weiter. Oder